The top stories for the hour. President Haile Selassie hails Ethiopian Police take advancement in regional training efforts for peace. And African Union call member states to adopt African Charter on Public Service. Hello and very warm welcome to EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism from the capital Addis Ababa with the news Biniam Getana along with the editor and the technical crew. Keep locked in, and now the news in detail. President Haile Selassie has praised the Ethiopian police for significantly advancing their institutional capacity through the integration of modern technologies and expanded regional training initiatives aimed at ensuring lasting peace and national security. Speaking at the graduation ceremony of the Ethiopian Police University, President Haile commended the graduates for their commitment and discipline, noting that the knowledge and skills they acquired from certificate to master's level will contribute meaningfully to Ethiopia's peace and security sector. The president underscored that ensuring lasting peace requires a dual approach, bringing those who threaten social harmony into dialogue while also enforcing the rule of law. He underscored that the Ethiopian Federal Police adoption of modern technology to prevent and investigate crime has already begun, yielding positive results and creating a conducive environment for sustained peace. President Haile also noted the strategic importance of the Ethiopian Police University's efforts to provide free education opportunities to students from neighboring countries, key to enhancing regional cooperation and strengthening joint efforts to combat terrorism and cross-border crimes. The president further called on the police to work closely with communities in safeguarding the nation's growing infrastructure investments, ensuring that public projects continue to serve citizens effectively for generations to come. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed held a consultative meeting on Saturday with health professionals from across the country. The session focused on pinpointing major challenges in the health sector, exploring opportunities for improvement and assessing the progress made in healthcare delivery and institutional development. In a message shared on social media following the meeting, the Prime Minister described the dialogue as constructive, noting that it helped shed light on sectoral shortcomings while also celebrating the collaborative strides taken towards improving public health services. The meeting marks the latest in a series of nationwide engagements by the Prime Minister over the past 2 weeks. These consultations have included dialogues with members of business communities, educators, and representatives of opposition political parties, signaling the government's commitment to inclusive consultations and cooperative solutions across all areas of national development. In other news, African Union called member states to adopt the African Charter on Values and Principles of Public Service. The call came at the 10th African Public Service Day celebration, kicked off here in the capital Addis Ababa Saturday. Sintayo Tamrat has more on this.
The 10th African Public Service Day event kicked off Saturday at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa at the presence of public service institution leaders, government officials, academia, civil society, media, and international partners from across Africa and the diaspora. The 3-day event is themed enhancing the agility and resilience of public institutions to achieve equitable governance and rapidly address historical service delivery gaps. Reports indicate that the public institutions across the continent play a pivotal role in addressing these historical service delivery gaps by driving comprehensive policy reforms, ensuring equitable service provision, and fostering responsive and inclusive governance. Opening the continent's significant event, Patience Zanele Chiradza, Director of Governance and Conflict Prevention Directorate of the African Union, said African Public Service Day marks a significant milestone to confront the challenges in the African public service sector. She also urged member states to adopt African Charter on Values and Principles of Public Service.
Our call to action is clear. We must invest in digital governance systems that are people-centered and inclusive. We must uphold ethical leadership and transparency as the foundation of trust in governance. I would also like to appeal to African Union member states that have not yet done so to either sign or ratify the African Charter on Values and Principles of Public Service and Administration so that we can all work together to implement it.
Officially launching the 10th African Public Service Day event, Ethiopian Deputy Prime Minister Temesgen Trune highlighted strides in reforming the public service sector in the country. The Deputy Prime Minister mentioned that Ethiopia is taking action to address the historical gaps in the public service sector by launching massive reform. Ethiopia's reform in the sector has brought tangible results, Temesgen said, mentioning Meso One-Stop project, which has proved successful and planned to be emulated nationwide.
At the heart of our reform, in the one-stop shop model, a model that brings government closer to citizens. It works across online platforms, mobile applications, physical service centers, and community engagement. It is already showing results. People are being served faster. Citizens are being treated with dignity. Barriers are being broken down. Our flagship initiative is called MESOB, Modern Ethiopian Service for Organized Benefits. MESOB is more than a platform. It is a promise to deliver services that are efficient, inclusive, and seamless.
CEO of a global platform for government that helps public servants commended Ethiopia's progress in the sector and pledged support.
That's why I want to recognize in particular His Excellency Dr. Makuria Haile. Under his leadership, Ethiopia is building exactly this kind of public service. And it's our privilege at Apolitical to support this journey through the country's new Public Service and Governance Academy.
The 10th African Public Service Day theme aligns with the overarching 2025 AU theme, Justice for Africans and the People of African Descent through Reparations.
That was Sintayo Tamrat for the detailed report. And stepping to our final segment, Chief Government Whip Tesfaye Beleji has emphasized the critical need to revitalize Pan-Africanism to achieve political unity and economic integration across the continent. Speaking at the ARDA Policy Talk series hosted by the Foreign Affairs Institute on Saturday, the Chief Whip said Pan-Africanism has historically served as a counterforce to white supremacy and colonialism, evolving into a powerful political ideology and cultural movement. Despite significant milestones such as the establishment of the Organization of African Unity and its successor, the African Union, many core goals of Pan-Africanism remain unfulfilled. He stated, noting that issues of political unity, economic sovereignty and cultural reclamation are still pressing concern. Revitalizing Pan-Africanism to address contemporary challenges while remaining rooted in historical legacies is crucial, he stressed. The Chief Whip argued for an African Renaissance, aiming for intellectual emancipation and economic transformation that requires bold institutional reforms, mobilization of indigenous resources, and a coherent economic vision to confront global inequalities. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is a prime example of this ethos, more than an infrastructure initiative, he pointed out. Likewise, the Chief Whip concluded by stressing that revitalizing Pan-Africanism demands a critical engagement with Africa's diverse identities and commitment to strategic action that foster unity through shared values and collaborative projects, as reported by the Ethiopian News Agency. And now a recap of the top stories once again. President Taye Asqe-Selassie hails Ethiopian Police take advancement in regional training efforts for peace. An African Union called member states to adopt African Charter on Public Service. You've been watching ABC World, and thank you for your company, and do enjoy the remaining program from the capital Addis Ababa on the Voice of Pan-Africanism, and goodbye for me now.